and gentlemen, boys and girls, Minecrafters of all ages, welcome back to our Minecraft Bedrock Survival Let's Play world. We are actually gonna do something pretty chill and relaxing today. As you guys may not know yet, you'll find out in the upcoming video, but we have this here being worked on. If you have the video coming out Tuesday, you guys will get to see all this yourselves. But so spoilers for those of you who are actually tuning into our stream today. That's a little bit of a unfortunate thing, but at the same time, you know, you could also think of it as rewarding for tuning in. So basically, I am stair-stepping this down, and just going to that point there is what we're working on, and you know, just collecting everything as we go along and get our resources here. I was using my Silk Touch for a little bit. We have so much stone. Yeah, we'll come back to that. We have so much stone that, you know, cobblestone's actually a little more scarce. And what do you need for, you know, your pistons and all that good fun stuff? The cobbled variety. So I switched over to my fortune pickaxe, and I've been using it, especially now that I've gotten down to where I'm interacting with the deep slate, because we definitely need a lot more cobbled deep slate than we do the regular deep slate. That's probably about as much of an understatement as I could possibly make, but we are definitely... I thought this would be a nice chill way to get some stuff done that, you know, wouldn't necessarily make it on in a video, but it's kind of relaxing and easy to do, so I can focus on chat and chat with you guys about different things that interest you with the Minecraft community, whatever you guys want to talk about, whether it's channel related or whatever, as long as it's you know, Minecraft related, I suppose. I mean, we've got to be getting close to 120, right? And with spectator mode actually being in, you know, in the game now, I mean, obviously you have to enable cheats, which unfortunately for Bedrock Edition, when we enable cheats and we go back, we can't, you know, still complete what are those things called, the achievements. We can no longer get achievements because it seems it's console based, which is kind of crazy, whereas to Java Edition it's world based. You can create a world, get a bunch of achievements, go to the next world, and you know, you're getting all them achievements again. And that's something that I would like to put a little more focus on in this series too. We did one, which would be the last Let's Play episode that you guys seen. I believe it was where we completed the. We went to the list and seen one that was partially completed, and it just so happened that there was teleporting 100 meters with an ender pearl was available for us, and I mean, you know, that was quick and easy to get done, but not all of the achievements are going to be that easy, and all the achievements that we have obtained are in this world. So that's, even though they are world based, because this has been the only world that we've been in. Aside from the realm and whatnot, all of our achievements have come from this world, which is really awesome. It means that we can do achievement hunting and, work on getting them. I'm sure when 120 arrives, there are going to be new achievements that come with that. Um, there normally are with the updates. So, that gives us something to look forward to. But there are so many that have been in the game for a long time, longer than this world, that we don't have yet. So I thought, working on trying to remember to work on those as much as we can would be a really cool addition to the episodes. And I don't know that we're going to be able to get them in all episodes, but, I would like to try and work them in as often as possible. I probably need to go through and see which ones we have, which ones, that way, if we don't have a lot of time, maybe we can use that time to get those easier ones. And then in the episodes where we have a little more time, where we can stay inside, what we allow ourselves. I typically shoot for anywhere between 20 and 25 minutes for my videos. Most of the time, I have gotten between 25 and 30. I think I've gotten a little bit better at getting it down to where I actually want it, but yeah, it's not like something set in stone, and sometimes I do go a little under or a little over. I figure as long as I'm over 15 minutes and under 30, I'm doing pretty good, because some things just take more time, or you do a lot, but footage wise in a single player world, you don't get a lot out of it. I was really looking forward to spectator mode being in the game. I thought, it with it being in experimentals, I had several times thought about talking to you guys about adding experimental to the world here, and if we added experiments, we could have done, the better time lapses or whatever. But with it being in cheats mode now, that would kill our achievement hunting in the world. So, there went that. At least for now. I'm sure. I don't know how hard they're working on the parody things. It seems like they are doing a lot more for the parody than they had prior to this whole parody talk and everything. So maybe for long we'll be able to get something done with that. If it was more account based instead of world based, then that would even be a big help, because obviously if you're just using a second account, a cam account, and it's in spectator mode, if it's not affecting our main play here, then we would still be able to gather our achievements and stuff, and that would really help out a lot. I haven't really done a whole lot of time lapses lately. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. Would you like to see more like we used to have, or are you okay with the videos coming out the way they are without them? At least until we can get some really good time lapse stuff going. Let's get our shulker box down here and see if we can get some things put away. Got a full inventory. Let's just concentrate on full stacks. we can get out the full stacks, then that open up quite a bit of room in our inventory. Yeah. And I do realize that I haven't told you guys what's going on with this. Uh, Unfortunately, I'm probably not gonna do that in this stream either. Um, there is a reason for the madness. I mean, we do not have a mining area over here, so you know that kind of this kind of will help with that. And I mean, really, the only thing that we have any kind of shortage on, anyways, would be the cobblestone, right? That's where the problem lies, because we tend to use our silk touch picks more and more often, and just gathering the ores and stuff that way, and getting our stone. And when we do most of our mining these days, it's down in deep slate levels. So, you know, we end up with those resources, and we use our fortune down there, but then we normally just, you know, grab the ores with our silk touch. Down there too, just so that, you know, we don't have so many ores taking up space, because once you fortune them, you're definitely taking up a lot more space than you are with them being silk touched. And I mean, with the silk touch ores, you can incorporate them into certain things. I mean, we haven't yet in this world, but you know, that doesn't mean that we're not going to. And we may need to mend up our pick, by the way. From the looks of this. We have 3 chests of stone and some overflow. I think we're pretty close to being back to 3 chests of cobble now, too, from working on this here. But the cobblestone really goes quick. We used a lot of that for the road going to the gold farm. We just did a simple cobbled road for that, which I thought was a really cool idea. And there's going to be a lot more going on with all of that at some point. I really can't say when, because we tend to do things in this world on the basis of what we need versus what we have and so forth. So, with that being said, certain things like iron farms and whatnot, we just don't have them yet. We've got no shortage on iron by any means, so it's just not been an issue. But I did, in the community part of the channel, put up a post about what kind of farm you guys would like to see us build in this world. And most of you guys were interested in you know, seeing a shulker farm, so we're kind of going with that. So we'll be working on a shulker farm here very soon, which could be very handy. Um, I mean, we have a ton of shulker boxes, but they tend to save a lot of space in your chest, right? And it would be nice to be able to just walk up, say you need cobblestone, and instead of having to fill up a shulker with cobblestone, having, just grabbing a shulker cobblestone and going, would be really, really cool. And it would help cut back on, storage and whatnot. Um, could basically combine like different things into the same chest essentially, and you wouldn't even have to worry about it being mixed up or whatever. Just grab the shulker box of whatever, and uh, when you hover over them, you can see what's in them. So if you got like a shulker box full of brown terracotta, you can grab it and go. Shulker box of clay could be sitting right, like you could, one chest could hold so much. And instead of having like 4 chests of stone, you could have 1 chest of stone that, a bunch of it's already shulkered up for you and ready to go. And then when you're done with your project, you just drop your shulkers in, in your storage where in appropriate spot. At some point, I would like to do an automatic shulker loader, and um, maybe have it set where we can just drop a shulker box into our system and it go into a particular place for us. I'm not exactly sure how I would accomplish all those things in Bedrock Edition. I think being able to do that would be a little more tricky than in Java. We just don't have some of the abilities that they do. And that's one of the big differences between Java and Bedrock Edition are the mechanics with the redstone, right? So that's something we can look forward to at some point, but I really can't say when. And with no official release date yet for 120, I've just been trying to gather as much bamboo as I can, honestly. That way we can where we have all the bamboo blocks that we want, and hopefully our bamboo can keep up with whatever our demand is. I mean, without having actually built with it yet, I can't really say how much of it we would be using at what rate, but it is definitely something that I would like to incorporate in quite a bit. Maybe not in our starter base is done, right? But we do have a lot of open room in our stronghold base still that we need to get taken care of. Um, there's just a lot of rooms that aren't done yet, and a lot of space to put things. And we've been in the stronghold base for a while now. I mean, it is a pretty big base, but our focus hasn't necessarily been entirely on, getting it all straightened out. And I really, I think we're going to end up possibly, depending on how things go. I have no idea what's going on with the sniffer. Haven't really heard a whole lot about it recently. So depending upon what goes on with it, like there may be things that end up in the stronghold base that I just didn't even plan on. Because honestly, didn't think that we would be calling this place home for as long as we have. Uh, Figure we'd be moved on to another base by now. It just hasn't worked out that way, and that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I mean, we've had pretty productive episodes, and we've worked on a lot of different things over the time that we've been here, and we still have a lot more things to work on. And I mean, while we're here, we've been working on Project Outer End, which we haven't done a whole lot on lately either. So we got stuff to do with that on top of the base here, and just other game things that like the mud farm. Mud became a thing, and so we built a farm for that. That was Freb's farm there, and if you go back and check out that episode at some point, um, you will find a link in the description to his tutorial on it. It was a really good tutorial. Um, Even I was able to follow along and understand what was going on. So that says something, because I am definitely not a redstoner. I mean, I can make redstone work, but my understanding of it is very, very basic. I'm definitely not some elaborate redstone genius. So I'm sure a lot of things that I do could be done much more efficiently. And one thing about it, though, most of the redstone that I do is pretty dependable. Um, I can say that. Like, we've been in this world since 117, and none of our, I mean, we haven't done any significant redstone, but the redstone we have done, nothing's changed to break anything, and in a way to where we would have to redo any of it. So that's always good. If it's too dark in here, for you guys to see what's going on, let me know. Um, to me, it looks pretty decent. A little dark since there's no torches or anything, but I mean, I can see pretty clearly. I don't know what it's like on your guys' end though. All right. Oh, that choker's full. And we start the next one. Now we do have a beacon, but uh, sky access. That would be the issue. I mean, I could go put it above ground, but I don't think it would work this far down. Or at least I'm. You guys might have to let me know if I'm wrong about that. how far does a beacon reach? A full-fledged beacon. It would be nice to use it now that we have it, especially on something like this right here. Uh, yeah, beacon, being able to use our beacon would be nice. But if I was to open up sky access, we'd have villagers suiciding on us, I'm pretty sure. And how did I miss you? I'm gonna go ahead and silk touch these guys. That's one of the things about this was generated in 117, right? So the world depths did not change and heights did not change until after um, we established this as an area, uh, or at least, you know, had loaded it in to where it would register as a 117 area. So everything got added in down below level 5 after that, right? When 118 came out. So we still have quite a few uh, stone diamonds in our world that we can get. They're not they're not as rare as they are for other people who, you know, have newer worlds. Oh, full inventory. So the idea is to have um, mob spawning down here, right? I really need one zombie for our trading hall. uh, one zombie. Is all that light coming from the redstone? It's gotta be, right? In fact, let's go back up here real quick. I don't want to leave these guys vulnerable where they can get their faces eaten and yeah, I don't want to leave it where they can get their faces eaten and despawn before we realize what's happened. I mean, most of them we've traded with, so I don't know how for sure how that works. And since the whole point and way of doing this is to control mob spawns, we definitely want to fill that all in. And, oh, I was about to say, do I not have a bucket of water on me? Like, that would have been so sad to not have a bucket of water. I always carry a bucket of water on me. And the one time I needed it, if I didn't have it, that would have been horrible. So the really crazy thing is that, so we're at lava level for the old world generation, right? So we actually have two lava levels now because uh, once we get down to, what is it, level 54, I believe, is lava level with the new world generation. So, you know, we have access to tons and tons of lava, even without a dripstone farm. Like, I mean, we have a small dripstone farm back over in the starter base, uh, but I mean, realistically, we just don't use that kind of lava like that to need it. I mean, I guess it would be good for smelting if we were to make a super smelter. Lava buckets would be, for fuel, would be probably the most efficient way to go. And you'd want a substantial farm for that or a source. So that's where a lot of the lava could come in handy, I suppose. Got to be really careful. We don't want to break our pickaxe here. We might have to go up and do some, go up to the top here and do some trading with our villagers and get some repairing going on. Oh yeah, inventory's full again. Oop. Let's see. In fact, let's go ahead and pick that up. Pick that up. Not leave it there. Pick it up. And let's go ahead and go up here and get some pickaxe repairs before we go pressing our luck too far. And just to make sure that a creeper doesn't sneak up in here and destroy some stuff. A zombie wouldn't be so bad because, you know, we're be right here, but oh yeah, we need our ender chest and some emeralds. Emeralds. I don't think we might have emeralds in our ender chest, but I don't think that's where they're all at. I know I keep some on me, but normally that's just a little bit for like the wandering trader or, you know, something like that. Wandering trader's got something interesting, then, you know, something that I can't easily obtain, then even as outrageous as his prices are, I tend to shop with him. Some things just aren't as easily attainable as other things, right? So let's do that. And let's see, this is our shulker box of 64 items. Let's get another one here with less. With our items that don't make a full stack. Some things like that deep slate ore and that flint, like that's just not gonna. We're not gonna end up with a stack of that anyways, right? So we'll just kind of stick that off right there. Actually, this shulker here has 64, is filled with stacks of 64. So let's let's do some trading. Nope, 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 nope. You're not a stonemason, are you? No, you're a weaponsmith. We don't want to trade with you yet. You're a stonemason. Let's ooh. So we can get some of these stone bricks. And he will buy regular stone. Man. And what you know, we actually have we have such an abundance of stone. And this isn't counting the three chests I was telling you about. Yeah, we have an abundance of this stone. So let's put that right there. And let's do a little bit of wheeling and dealing with him. Alright, so he's got the chiseled stone bricks. We can sell him granite. We can actually buy dripstone blocks. Let's sell some more stone. XP orbs get caught up in there, right? Magenta glazed terracotta. You're not a stonemason. You're not a stonemason. You're not a stonemason either. Toolsmith. You're a stonemason. Let's get our trade on, right? And we'll sell him some stone. Yep. And then we can sell him granite. And we can buy polished andesite. But he has a yellow glazed terracotta. We are trying to avoid duplicate villagers. Unfortunately, in Bedrock Edition, you can't just scroll down the list and see until you make the trade. So some of these guys might come across a series of unfortunate events. Oh, we can actually sell him andesite too. And we can buy polished granite. And he has regular brown terracotta. So we are raking it up. Our pickaxe is pretty close to being mended now. Sell you some stone. Oh, we ran out of stone. We didn't have any more in that shulker, did we? No, we did not. That's alright. We're gonna throw our stone bricks in here. And at these prices, we're gonna go through stone pretty quick. Which is another reason why I want the zombie villager. So we can lower those prices. And when they're zombified, if someone's not meeting our standards, we can take them out, and the villagers that are cured won't care. So that's a good way to take care of that situation. A one-way conversion. We can sell him andesite as well and buy polished diorite. He's got gray terracotta. Very helpful, sir. Thank you for your services. So far, you've all been appreciated. And I guess doing it this way, I did not need quite so many emeralds. Because I'm basically getting back what I'm selling, you know. So this one here is another granite that I can sell and get a polished deep slate or polished andesite. But he is carrying the red glazed terracotta, which, you know, we could start buying all that up. We could start buying up them terracottas and whatnot. Really, my main interest right now is leveling them up and seeing what that terracotta trade is. That way I know if they need to be extinguished or not when I do get that zombie villager up here. I don't want to waste my time curing them if we ain't got no use for them, you know. Yeah, that XP orb there just... Alright, so what does this guy got for us? Yellow glazed terracotta. One of you two are not gonna be around long. And I'll come through and I'll mark these things so I know, you know, so and so is not getting cured. Oh, that's the blue glazed terracotta from the looks of it, right? Oh, we ran out of stone again. Let's grab a little bit more here. Sorry to being, I mean, we've already mended up everything. So, really it's just a piquing my curiosity thing, kind of thing here now. Yeah, that's the blue glazed terracotta. Perfect. Alright, let's throw our stone back in here. And we'll get our bricks up in here. And we'll go ahead and throw our emeralds up in here as well. We don't need them with us while we're mining. Man, is it just me or is that redstone really staying lit for a good minute? Like if I wanted it to stay lit like that, I just got a feeling it wouldn't. I mean, I'm not, like I say, I'm not like a mechanical expert on this thing. Normally, I look up the mechanics of things when I want to build a farm or whatever, and that's how I figure out what I need to do to make the farm work the way that I want it to work. Um, that. I mean, I could just look up tutorials, right? But I kind of like the idea of. I mean, I've looked up tutorials when I was new to playing, but I like the idea of designing my own stuff. You know, not that there's anything wrong with the tutorials. You come across one like Freb's Farms, that his mud farm and clay farm, all in one type deal. Those things, like, there's no way you could outdo that. So, uh, why not? But by using your own designs, you might be able to build something that better suits your needs than what you'll necessarily find a tutorial on. And normally, a lot less work. For instance, if I was going to make a wither skeleton farm, I would not look up a tutorial on it. I would look into the mechanics on their spawning and, learn everything I could about that part of it. And I would take that information and do my own thing. Number one, I'm almost positive that that's going to leave me less work than any tutorial that I look up. Number two, there's a big satisfaction in knowing that you created something yourself. Uh, I'm not saying that it always works out that way, but if you don't try, you don't know, right? And with the Wither Skeleton Farm, it could be one of them things where so and so's got a tutorial on a great way to get Wither Skeleton skulls that's maybe more efficient than mine or whatever. But as long as I can get it to work and meet my needs, then I'm fine with designing my own stuff. Um, I don't need 8,000 wither skulls an hour. Maybe if I was on a realm and I was selling beacons and things like that right there, but in a single player world, um, we can, if we were farming beacons, which we're probably going to end up doing sooner than later. They are, farming withers for beacons, which is why you would want a wither skeleton farm. I'm pretty sure that whatever I can design is going to get me as many skulls as I need plenty quick enough without putting in that kind of work. Normally, when I find that when I go to build, uh, these crazy farm ideas that these people come up with, which again is good if if you have a use for it, but why worry about building something that gives you 8,000 wither skulls an hour if you're going to have all the wither skulls you're ever going to need by the time you even get the thing built? That's kind of how I looked at it. I'm not exactly sure when we'll do a wither skeleton farm. I just know it's on our list of things that need to be done because it hasn't been done yet. And anything and everything that can be built that I can think of, we're going to build in this world. Um, as long as, as long as this world is around. And I would like to, I plan on keeping this thing for a long time. I mean, in single player worlds, I don't think you have quite the issues with bigger size files as you do with the realms and the servers and things like that. So, I mean, I can think of a few examples. Well, maybe not necessarily a few, but I mean, I know there are guys out there that's been in their world for like 10 years or whatnot, and they build all kinds of crazy redstone stuff and things like that. Etho is a great example. He's been in his world forever, and uh, he it's a masterpiece. Yeah, a lot of stuff breaks, and you have to either go back and fix it or abandon it and create something new or whatever. But that's just the game mechanics changing on you and stuff like that. So my goal is to basically, the only way I could see us being done with this world is if we had built every possible farm. I mean, and done everything that could be done. And the way the updates come out, um, I don't foresee that being a problem. I think if anything else, yeah, we might would get a few less videos out of this world and a little more uh, from Forever Bedrock or something. Being with that being our realm that we play on with some really cool people. But once an update comes out and you got these new things, there's new stuff to do, and don't necessarily have to have a new world to create new content for you guys, right? And I know that there's a lot of people that appreciate the nostalgia when you go buy something that's been there forever, and they're like, "Man, I remember when he built that back in season one." And we are definitely collecting the resources on this project. I can tell you that. Definitely collecting the resources. All right, so we want non-full stacks down here. Because we just want the full stacks in our shulker box there. And is this our... Nope, we left our pizza box up there. Which is fine. I think, honestly, I mean, we've been going at it for like an hour now already. Believe it or not. So I think this would actually be a good time to take a break, walk your dog, get a drink, do whatever you need to do, and then we'll get back on it in about 10, maybe 15 minutes. Nice little intermission. See you guys then. Let's get back into the action here. Buried ourselves in. Yeah, see, nothing's spawning down here. I had one skeleton spawn in here when it wasn't near this deep, and I thought for sure I would get more mobs spawning in here by now, and that just has not happened. We just need that one zombie. Let's put that there like that. There we go. And pick it back up. There we go. So we get a little more obsidian out of this too. Which is always useful. I really, reminds me, I really need to spread around shulker boxes in our world a little, or ender chests in our world a little bit more. So if something happens and I accidentally break mine with my fortune pickaxe, which I'm known to do. Not quite as often as I used to, because I don't really use my fortune pickaxe a whole lot. This is a pretty rare exception here. Normally when I'm using my fortune pickaxe, I'm down in deep slate levels. And we haven't had to mine deep slate in a while. So it hasn't been an issue. I thought I just walked in lava there for a minute. But, the deep slate we have isn't going to last forever. And it would be nice to have ender chest spread around so, I can just walk up to it, it's handy so that I don't even have to pull the one out of my inventory and pick it back up and all that. And I do try to always carry one on me, just in case I need something out of it. But at some point we may get set up good enough to where that's not even necessary, and then we got that free inventory spot. The problem is I try to carry so much on me, I don't really leave a whole lot of extra room. And that's why I end up with shulkers with all kinds of stuff in them. And I don't always get to put the stuff away as promptly as I would like to. Now the shulker boxes up there by the villagers, other than the ones that we just took up there, those are ones holding stuff that have to do with the what we got going on there. That's not random items. Yeah, there will be some materials left, but that's not necessarily what I was talking about. I was talking about things we collect when we go exploring and caving or whatever. We end up with a lot of stuff that I don't always get to put away right away. And when I do get you know, go to put them away. It seems like our storage room is finally starting to fill out, right? So as we're acquiring more and more of items, some of them things we don't have many of that we're sharing chests or now needing their own chest or you know uh, categories of um, like we have a chest that basically has a few shulkers in it with ore blocks and a shulker with our leftover dyes and another shulker with it's just random stuff, another shulker with our leftover concrete powders and just things like that. um, so we don't have I mean we have a lot of shulkers, but some of them are just being used to help with storage as well. So oh, my inventory is full. I thought I was not picking stuff up, and then I started picking up more, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm crazy. I'm not crazy at all. All right, we can pick that one up and throw it back up there. Let's get rid of more of these full stacks so they're not taking up quite so much space. Yeah, is it just me, or do you guys find this relaxing too? Just regular old fashioned mining. I mean, I haven't done the math, so I'm not exactly sure what this is going to take us down to when it's, said and done. Or if I'll even take it that low. Not sure how much lower I want to go with this. I've got a few ideas on what I'm going to do here, and I just cannot decide on which idea I want to go with. Our stronghold base is a pretty good size anyways, and like we were talking about earlier, like we have a lot of room left to do stuff with in it. So this isn't entirely necessary um, for more than a mine, really, to gather the resources, which basically, I mean, at this point, um, I think we've acquired most of the cobblestone that we're going to get out of this. I mean, we're not straight deep slate. We're still in the little mixture here, but I think we've actually pretty much gotten restocked up on our cobblestone pretty well. Um, not entirely like an overflow, because we do still have a little bit of that cobblestone road going to the gold farm like we were talking about, and then you know pistons and observers and just things that you can't use the cobble deep slate for. I'm not sure why it's not those, why those can't be things, but they're not. So we're yeah. And when you do most of your mining down in the deep slate levels with new world generations and things, and you just, who would have thought there would be a time where you needed cobblestone? I mean, I could make a cobblestone generator and just stand in a spot and get plenty of cobblestone, right? And not have to do all this. Um, but at the same time, like, these blocks are already here. I mean, I'm not saying we won't never make a cobblestone generator. It's something that, can be made. So at some point we will. But we're not at that point. At least not yet. And we're going to take all 4 of these at one time here. And just take this all the way. For those of you that watch my streams and my videos, you may have noticed that some of the stream content does tend to land in the videos from time to time, um, in the form of a time lapse or something like that right there. This is not going to be one of those things. uh, Anything in today's stream is strictly stream related. So with that being said, I mean, it was a thing in the past that I did, where I would take my streams and I would upload them on the old YouTuber, and that way you guys had a chance to watch them there if you couldn't make it here or whatever. And not sure if that's something that interests enough people for me to do. I had stopped doing it because it didn't seem like a lot of people were necessarily interested in it. But I mean, let's face it, it's not a whole lot of work, as much as it is time to to do that. So I mean, I may give it another go, and you know, put our Twitch streams over there, and then they'll be online for you to go back and watch anytime. Especially with Twitch here, like your video on demands are only available for 7 days. After that, they're gone. They're gone, gone, gone forever. Um, so I mean, I've got no problem uploading it up there uh, for future viewing or whatever. And I may go ahead and do that, um, just to give it a go. definitely gonna get a little bit of a city in out of here. It looks like. Uh, Looks like that lava lake's going down a little bit more past where we just were even. Make sure we get our redstone. I think redstone's one of them things that we have no worries of running out of. Um, we have an, quite an abundance of it, and like like I've said, I'm no redstone master, so that'll come up when I get that. Um, so I don't use it quite as much as some people do, or at least not yet. I would like to get into crazier farms and stuff like that at some point. I mean, like I said, like I like designing my own farms and stuff, and we don't need like an 8,000 wither skeleton skulls an hour uh, type farm. But at some point that could be a thing. Like we were talking about. You know, Once everything's built, then wouldn't be a whole lot left to do. But so there might be less videos and more Forever Bedrock content in its place at that point or whatever. But realistically, I mean, we could go back and improve things that we have also, like making better, bigger, better farms or whatever. Especially if we got a better way of storing things, so they're not taking up quite as much space. The inventory thing with Minecraft, I mean, it's not as hard as it used to be. I mean, we got shulker boxes and things like that. Everybody wants the bundle, right? Because you can combine up to 64 items in there. So you know your miscellaneous gear, which is great. I mean, I think the bundle would be great early game, before you have shulker boxes. So like say you're down caving or whatever, you end up with this odd and end stuff. Throw it in a couple bundles, save yourself some trips. But once you get shulker boxes and stuff, inventory just really, I mean, doesn't really become an issue, especially if you get like a shulker farm and you can have all the shulker boxes you need. I don't see why. I mean, yeah, you're still limited to an ender chest and however many shulkers that'll hold, um, and however many you can hold in your inventory. On top of that, right? But I mean, that if you think about it, that's a lot of storage. I mean, I guess it could be handy to have a shulker box full of bundles with miscellaneous items, and instead of I mean, in that aspect, it makes perfect sense. But I think the bundles are definitely would be more of an early game thing, uh, which we are definitely not in. Would we use bundles if they were available? Yes, we would definitely make uh, use of a bundles for sure. But I mean, I could be looking at it completely wrong. Like they could be life changing to the point to where even late game, you just kind of want that bundle. I mean, let's see. Okay, that one was full. Like, even if I had a bundle on me right now, I would still have to manage my inventory, right? Like, there's no way around that. I mean, uh, you're only going to be able to hold so much. You're only going to be able to carry so much at a time. Um, there's no way they could provide you with unlimited inventory space. Uh, that would that would lead to so many problems that we just don't even want to talk about and think about. Because there would be them people that would just always keep everything on them and not empty out their inventory in the chest and whatnot. And uh, I mean, I imagine it wouldn't take too much, and you'd be dealing with corrupted worlds and all kinds of crazy stuff. This may be the last layer that we get to for now. We may have to. I mean, I do have my inner chest on me. I could just shulk her up, right? But I mean, we haven't really done a whole lot on our pickaxe, so I could just exchange shulker boxes. I don't really need to go up and mess with the villagers and mend and all that. Oh, oh yeah, we got. For some reason, I thought we were late for. Yeah, I mean, we got quite a bit of pickaxe left, so that's probably what we'll do. We'll just break out the inner chest and swap it out for more space. Now the mangrove wood, that's a topic right there. Okay, the wood looks great. I mean, it's perfect even, but harvesting it is a nightmare. And we don't have any tree farms in this world. Yeah, other than the old manual, grow it on a piece of dirt and chop it down. You know, we don't have any farms uh, for tree farming, I should say. But I would like to do something about that as well. And you could come up with some things for the nether trees, and I guess that would probably uh, give you an idea of what the mangrove wood farm would be like. Now, obviously, like your 2x2 trees uh, would be one thing, and you could really with a regular oak, if you force the growth, you could use them the same, probably from the same farm without crazy waste or anything like that. But the mangrove trees, the roots, and the unpredictability in size and height, and just there's so many things with them that yeah, I didn't think so. I just wanted to be 100% sure. it'd be a shame to come back later and be like, well, I mined that right there, and never thought I would see this, and here I am finding some diamonds hidden a block away. Not that we are hurting for diamonds in any way, shape, or form at all. That is definitely not the case. As it stands right now, we got. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't say we have enough diamonds for a beacon, but we probably aren't extremely far off. I would say, you know. I mean, and then all the diamond ores I had, if I was a, I would probably hold on to the regular diamond ores and just use the deep slate diamond ores. But if I was a fortune, all the deep slate diamond ores we got, uh, we we really probably uh, I would say, oh, and that's how you lose your inner chest right there if you aren't paying attention. But I would say if I was a fortune, all those, we'd probably be pretty close if we didn't have enough uh, to get a diamond beacon, which, you know, it's pretty cool thought, you know, to know that we have those kind of diamonds. And we haven't been diamond mining since, well, we haven't been mining in forever, since we got our first set of diamond gear. We've been resource gathering, and, you know, you pick up some diamonds that way. Let's, where's our, there it is. Our handy dandy little bucket. Whoa. Normally it, got a slight little bit of lag on there. Because normally that would never happen. Alright, now we can scoop our water back up. Yeah, I think by the time we get down past the stone level, we're gonna be all right with cobblestone again for a little bit. I mean, I guess some of that depends on um, what all kind of things we decide to do, and I think I got that redstone. I think what kind of things we decide to do in the area with the simple villager vibes and whatnot. And, I mean, we have stone brick block or stone bricks. We've got a ton of that stuff. So let me go ahead and get this out of this wall. You know what? I want to hold on that andesite. yeah, uh, maybe I am crazy for putting the cobblestone back, but even with things the way they are, it's easier to get the cobblestone than it is the andesite and stuff like that. But a tree farm, I like the idea of tree farms. And we would have to have several, like I was saying, we'd have to have several different kinds because, um, just your two by two trees, and then you got, I guess you could do your one by trees, your oak and your birch, but then you got your acacia tree, which I mean would probably either need a whole farm on its own, or maybe a mangrove tree style. It's hard to say. I think that's just something that we'll deal with when we get to that bridge. But for the spruce and the dark oak and the jungle, I think two by two tree farm would probably be the first one I would do. Right? I mean, we don't even have a creeper farm. We have a general mob farm that has been providing us with all of our gunpowder at this point. And I mean, we do have some gunpowder saved up. Because even with all the rockets that we use, it's just we haven't really used a lot of TNT, so and things like that. Or honestly, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think we've used any TNT in this world. Uh, we did all of our exploding in the Nether with the beds, so now we could, we will at some point build a creeper farm. Especially as we get into doing things where we're using a lot of TNT. But I'm not sure how far down the road that is. I try to accomplish as much as I can in each video while still allowing it to, trying to help it feel like it's our world and not mine. Like I've said from the beginning when we entered this world, I'm the one behind the controller, but it's our world. I mean, y'all are invested in it as much as I am by putting the time in to watch the videos and everything and the live streams and whatnot. And I think that that's the way that I like to play. I like to play like I'm playing for us, not for me. It's not one of those. I mean, obviously, technically, um, you know, I'm the one behind the controller, so I have ultimate say or whatever, um, technically. But that's not how I operate. That's not how we do on this channel and in this world. Um, some of the things that we've done have come from suggestions from viewers in the comments and things like that. And um, our stronghold base being one of them. Uh, a feature of our monorail came from that. Uh, there was, even though I already had plans for the Operation Outer End, that was also a suggestion. So, if I didn't have plans for it, uh, it would have ended up happening anyways, because it was a suggestion and a challenge kind of thing all in one. And I really want to get a lot of Operation Outer End worked on as a little bit more of a focus than it has been as of late. And we've done a little bit with adding things to the stronghold base and things like that recently, and I'd like to get that all knocked out, uh, as promptly as possible too. Uh, right on up to finishing our automatic brewing station. Um, right now it's semi-automatic and it's very, very limited compared to what I want. And honestly, I haven't really had the chance to work on the design of it the way that I would like to. Because one of the things was with the design I had, we just were a little bit short on space where we chose to put it. And so I was working on a way to condense down the redstone and everything, and I hadn't been able to work on that long enough. Uh, that I kind of got lost in how the redstone was working on it. So I gotta like refigure out how I was doing that in order to finish it. So, some things are just time. You know, IRL stuff happens and you get busy, and then there are so many things in this world that I want to do with you guys and for you and for us to have in this world. Um, I would like to make world downloads a thing at some point, and I think that would be really cool. And I really look forward to being able to do that. And that might not be as far down the road as some of you guys may think either. Uh, so that's something to look forward to. A little spoiler alert there. World downloads could become a thing. So if you're playing on PC, you should be able to, enjoy that. Consoles, it's just, there's not much I can do to help you out there. I wish I could. Um, I think mobile might even be able to enjoy them world downloads. I'm sure there's a way to do it on mobile. Basically, mobile devices are like handheld computers these days. I don't think it would be too far-fetched to believe that world downloads are a thing for them. Man, we are finding the diamonds today. Uh, we were talking about, we probably would have enough for a beacon anyways if I fortuned up all that deep slate diamond ore that I've got in the storage there. Well, would be able to anyways at this rate. All right, let's get that there and do this number. Break out a little bit past the obsidian so we don't find other little splotches like last time where we got to put our bucket back down. All right, I think that should do it. Yeah, I really want to get. I mean, our community has been growing. We're up to 18 followers here on Twitch, which is amazing, and I want to. I'll take the time right now to thank each and every one of you guys for that. And if you are watching and you're not following, go ahead and hit that follow. It helps out a lot. Um, and I mean, it means a lot more than I could ever put into words. And over on YouTube, I mean, we're up to 122 subscribers. We're on the road to 500, so that's a thing. And I really would like I really would like to be as involved with you guys as possible and help you feel like we're in this together because we are. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said it and I'll keep saying it. Not just in our Let's Play world, but in any world that I'm in. Um, I may not necessarily like on Forever Bedrock. I can't necessarily say it's our world. Everything. I'm gonna do my best to accommodate everything that everybody wants and so forth and all that kind of stuff. Um, that would be too misleading because obviously on a server with other people, there's limitations, and I don't want to I don't want to give misintentions or anything like that, but in general, um, you know, I do, regardless of the world, whether it's a one block or ultimate bedrock or forever bedrock or whatever. Um, you guys put in the time to watch the videos, and I'm putting in the time to make it, and it is a group effort. I mean, that doesn't happen just by me or you or whatever. Like, we all work on that together, and as a community, and our community is growing, and I'd love to see it keep growing. And I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I'll get to do this full time, and I can really get into doing some good stuff for you guys. Um, we've been okay, so I mean that's a good segue into somewhat a spoiler, not a spoiler. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before to an extent, possibly without coming straight out and saying it, but I've put it there. I put it down for you to pick it up if if you're able to do that. And so our starter base, okay, that was super simple vibes and whatnot. And I think we did a pretty good job of keeping that theme there. I mean, it was a starter area. If you're gonna do simple vibes, um, that's really the only place that makes that kind of sense to do it, right? And then we come over to the stronghold base, and I love this stronghold base. This stronghold base is by far my favorite base that I have ever made in any world, and I don't think that I'm gonna be able to top that for a long time. And I I just happened to put it out there that that could be a thing. And I always wanted to do a stronghold base, and it would have eventually been a thing, but it was uh, someone in the comments of the YouTube video that we talked about it said, yeah, you should definitely make the a base out of that stronghold. And I was like, okay, so if it's something I've been wanting to do, and you're wanting me to do it, it's got to be done. So it came about a lot quicker than it would have, and it's an elegant looking base. I mean, it's not super fancy or anything like that, but it's definitely like a step up from simple vibes like we have in our starter area. And you, we got the village up top, which is other than the entrance to the stronghold base, where I tried to tie in the villager vibes and the stronghold base vibes, and I'm not even sure how good I did that. Now, our entrance building to our stronghold base, I'm gonna tell you right now, I like that too. That's nice. I enjoy it. Um, it's not super fancy, but it's not too villager like. Um, Not sure how good of a cross it is between what we got down here and up there, but um, I like it. Um, the mud farm. Now, at the time of planning all this out, what was going to go on here, mud was not a thing. I did not even expect it to be a thing. That's something that came after the fact. So, the factory for the mud farm, um, that was just not something that I expected to be at the time, but now it is, right? So things do kind of change or whatever, from what you originally would have planned to what ends up happening. And that's, you know, life is the same way. So, that's expected, no big surprise, right? Super excited about mud and packed mud and all that. Really love that stuff. Would really like to use a lot more of it. We got the mud farm. Now we didn't add in to make it a clay farm and all that right there. Mainly because, well, I mean, one, we weren't really doing it for clay. We were doing it for mud. And two, we didn't have the honey blocks. The honey blocks were the big thing, right? It was holding us back on that. Because I could have got the mud I needed and then, did the whole thing. Renewable clay is beautiful, right? I mean, we have ways to double our dirt counts and whatnot. So, it could be a thing. Now, for outside the village, for a factory build. That was my first factory style build, and I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I think it totally matches what I was going for. It definitely looks the part. Um, but this building style that we're doing here is way different than the starter base simple vibes that we did there. I mean, it is. It's way different, and I mean it's still not like super high class or fancy. Um, and I'm not saying that we will ever have futuristic style builds or that we won't or retro style or I don't know. We've got so much to do right here. um, I may be planning on doing I mean, some of the areas that I have plans for, the styles that I have planned may not may not ever happen. I mean, I may decide, well, I want to do this and do this kind of style, and somebody in the comments might say, uh, you know, this kind of style in that area would be amazing. And I'm going to take that feedback, and if I think I can pull off what, they're wanting, and I can at least agree with it to the littlest extent to where I think, okay, I can compromise on this and use this style somewhere else where it would be better suited. I'm gonna do it. And that's part of it being our world, even though I'm the one behind the controller. Like, you know, if you guys don't have any say, then I can't really make that claim, can I? And that's not how we operate here. That's never how we're gonna operate. Um, I want to put out things that you want to see. So if if you say, well, that should be a nice retro style area, because of whatever reason, um, that's probably what's going to happen. If it's why am I minding all that? If it's doable. So back to the point I was making. Even though I want to say that, I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything else we're going to do that's quite as simple styled as our starter area or, um, our villager area up above here. Um, but, I don't want to say for all certainty and then decide to do like old west style in somewheres or something. I mean, honestly, an old west style uh, deal, I could see that being in one of three places: the mesa, the um, desert, or possibly even the savannah. Right? Uh, yeah, I could see that possibly even being in the savannah. And I think that would be a fun style to do. but I don't think. I mean, that is different than our simple lives that we did over at our starter base. But at the same time, it's still similar to what we did there and what we're doing here up above, right? So, you know, I really, I really think what's going to happen is we're going to end up going um, something that's off from that in a completely different direction. Uh, Basically, not to the extent to where it looks like two different people were here doing this stuff, but we want it to be gradual. Um, so the styles are similar enough that as we move to, okay, say I was doing a retro style area, um, I would not want to numb that down to the point to where it just seemed like an upgrade to the styles that we have in these other two areas. Because that would not do that style justice at all. Um, so, you know, it's kind of tricky trying to decide what style I'm going to do, what with. And, you know, that's why, again, when those things come up, those suggestions are totally appreciated. And, I mean, definitely would be heard. I mean, quite frankly, you guys honestly might make a suggestion that makes more sense than what I got in my head at that particular time. And that's just the way I look at things. And, you know, obviously you can't make everybody happy, and you know that's a lost cause. You can't make everybody happy. No matter what you do, you're not gonna make everybody happy. But I think you know, kind of like a majority rules kind of thing is exactly how that would you know, would make sense for things like that. We are definitely collecting a lot of stuff here. And we've actually been at it for a little over 2 hours. Just grinding and chit chatting. Excuse me. It's like no matter what's going on, when I hit that record button, I end up with a dry throat. Especially when I'm streaming. It's a lot different than when you're just recording for your videos, because you know there's a lot more conversation going on. Um, and being a smaller content creator like I am, I don't exactly have like the most people in chat conversating, right? So I'm filling in all that void. Like no time spent reading messages and things like that. So in order to try and keep you guys entertained, it's a lot more chatter than it would be otherwise. Like some of them bigger channels, you can get in chat and talk with other people in chat, and not just the streamer. You got the ability to chat with other members of the community. And I think that coal might have went somewhere else. I don't think it went into my inventory. Let's get down another torch right there. I can't believe I didn't even notice this over here before. Um, like, we definitely want to grab all this. And I don't think we're going to fill this hole here back in, because it seemed like a pretty big one here. So what we're probably going to do is just throw a torch in and block it off. And we need space. Our inventory is uh, fuller than we need it to be. That's for sure. So let's get down. Oh, let's do that. And we should be able to pick this stuff up now at least. Let's throw that torch in there. Grab that torch back. Because once we close this off, it's going to be plenty dark enough. Yeah, it's going to be plenty dark enough that we can, solid blocks and all. Just thinking, I mean, like I missed that coal, that redstone. I guess that's me chit-chatting with you guys and not paying quite as close attention as I would be otherwise. Um, that's one thing that I struggle to, oops, as a content creator with these streams and stuff. I mean, I think with my videos I've gotten better with it, right? But on streams, I only stream once a week, and that's not always an every week kind of thing. Sometimes things happen and we don't get a stream that week, but I'm getting better at it. I mean, it's different. It is different than doing videos. And not in a bad way. It's just, you know, reading the chat, keeping up with the chat, and Joe Nathan, our Forever Bedrock engineer, he'd be the first one to point out to me I need to work on that too, and he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. And I do need to work on it, and I've been trying and doing things like, simple things like this right here. Gives me an opportunity to flex those muscles and, do a little bit better with the chat participation and whatnot. And that's kind of why I've been trying to do more of these kind of things for stream instead of some of the more vigorous kind of things like I was, where I needed to be able to focus a little bit better and whatnot. Because watching chat and keeping up with you guys about whatever topics I was wanting to cover, uh, while still engaging in what you guys are wanting to talk about and playing the game. Not my strongest suit. But I mean, I do believe I am getting better at it. I mean, I ain't really been able to test that out in this stream. There ain't been no chat at all. This has been a very quiet stream. Uh, Normally, the only time I mean, the last time I had a stream this quiet that wasn't a no commentary stream, uh, was it's been a while. So, yeah. I mean, Rehab had a few viewers here live, and I'm sure some of you guys are going to come back and watch this later. I always see where, there's been more views after we've gone off the live mode, but, that's one of the great things about video on demand. You can always catch up on it when you can. And that's that 7-day thing, man. Like, that's why I was saying maybe I should give the whole uploading our Twitch streams to YouTube another go. Um, just so that, that video is there for those who miss it and would like to see it. And, maybe not everybody does Twitch. I've been considering a lot about streaming over on YouTube. Um, I I'm a little more partial to Twitch, uh, in the aspect that I only need 50 followers, and like my requirements to be considered for monetization is a lot less than on YouTube, right? Um, but I got 18 followers here, 122 subscribers on YouTube, and that's growing every day. Thanks to you wonderful people out there who are giving those videos thumbs up and participate in the comments and sharing them with your friends. Uh, all that kind of stuff helps the YouTube algorithm get the video to other people who might enjoy them. And, that gets us new subscribers, and that helps our community grow. And um, it's just, it's surreal to me how far we've come. And I mean, I know there's been guys out there who have gone a lot further than I have in the amount of time that I've been doing this, but I've also seen so many people um, give up on it a long time ago. That started around the same time I did or after. Like, um, I guess they expect like that overnight fame or whatever. That is definitely not me. Believe me, there is no fame happening here. I don't care how many subscribers I got. You know, that's not what this is about. Um, Getting monetized, being able to do this full time, and uh, just basically, uh, you know, creating things that you guys can enjoy. Now that's a job I'd be proud to have. Uh, they say when you got the right job, you never feel like you have to go to work, and that would be the right job for me, especially these days, this day and age, this point in my life, and things like that. Um, with being able to put full time into this, especially with all the things I've learned over the last, I don't know, 520 days or whatever it's been since we've been doing this. Um, I've learned so much, and I'm still learning, and with all that comes improvements. I mean, it does. You learn, you improve. That's how that works, and we all know this. Um, so that's just what it is, and hopefully, some of the things that I've learned and I've been working on improving um, can be noticed, especially in uh, videos coming up. And I've been working hard on keeping track of the analytics and things like that, and trying to study all that stuff and make sense of it and see, what kind of things you guys prefer compared to other things, and the 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 time lapses, and the how much caving we do, and exploring, and just things like, especially in an older world like this one here, it's different, right? So, man, we got a nice little area down there, and man, it's still going. Like, it's that goes, and there's still plenty of stone left down there. And we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that stuff. We're gonna at least get down past the stone. That is the goal. That's the goal. We're getting down past the stone because we want all the stone out of that area down there we can get. Um, Now, in the meantime, if we could get a zombie to spawn in there, so I could get him to follow me up here, and I could get him name tagged in here, that would be great too. Um, I feel like I'm gonna end up having to import one from outside the walls. That's pretty much what I feel like is gonna have to happen. Now, looking at it now, there was a way I could have, probably an easier way I could have done this and had it taken care of, but um, it's fine. It is what it is. Let's let's do our thing right here. Um, we can. I don't know why I'm even worried about why I even had all this armor and everything down there doing that right there. There wasn't even no mobs. But you never know. You drop off into a cave or something, and without them feather falling boots, you gone, gone. Especially me. I'm clumsy. I'm the clumsiest Minecraft player I know. If there's a hole, I'm gonna fall down it. And if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that. I'm just glad I'm not that clumsy in real life, because I don't know if I would survive as many years as I had. But I want to thank each and every one of you for the amount of time you put into watching today's stream. And if you miss parts, or know somebody who missed it and would really like to see it, I am going to upload it over on YouTube sometime this week. That I may put it up on YouTube for video for tomorrow. That sounds like a good deal there. We'll set that. We'll go for YouTube video tomorrow. Our stream will be live over on YouTube tomorrow. Or, well, it won't be live. Our live stream from tonight will be available over on YouTube for tomorrow. So it's available for everybody who wants to come over and watch it. Thank you all for your time, and for being the great supportive community you've been. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I will see each and every one of you guys in the next video.